now invite Shelley Hale, the president of the college's council, to the podium as chair for this year's annual meeting.
Good morning. Thank you, Laura. As Laura said, my name is Shelley Hale, and I'm the president of the College Council, and I will be chairing this morning's annual meeting portion. Notice having been given and quorum being present, I call this meeting to order. Welcome to the 18th annual meeting of the Ontario College of Social Workers and Social Service Workers and the 18th annual Education Day. The theme of this year's AMED is Breaking Down Barriers. The annual meeting and Education Day is part of the Glenda MacDonald Educational Series, named in honor of the college's founding registrar. Glenda was unwavering in her support for ongoing education, and once again we dedicate this event, as well as the educational forums, to her memory. At this point, I'd like to welcome Bill Hill, a registered social worker, to the podium for opening remarks, acknowledging the traditional and ancestral lands of this meeting place. Bill, I offer you this tobacco tie as a thank you for your opening acknowledgement.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh boy. My fellow social workers. Oh wait, those aren't my notes, sorry. Sego, lotne gun gatste yongiat, skat nyago hagani. Hello, my name is Standing Strong Spirit. I'm a Mohawk Indian. And it was with great humility that I stand here in front of you, social workers. A social worker myself, I never thought I would be one as knowing my culture. I didn't grow up with it, so and neither did my father. So through my teachings and going back to school and learning how to be a social worker, it was also done with an Indigenous focus. So being able to hold on to myself as an Indigenous person and learn what it meant to be a social worker at the same time was huge to me for many reasons. I didn't start my journey as a Haudenosaunee until I was about 26 or 7, and that was at the kind eyes of my loving wife, Michelle, a red-headed Polish woman who told me that it was beautiful, that she studied it in university, and I had not gone to university. So to go to university with her permission in her eyes and the permission from my children at that after we had them, and to learn what it meant to be a Haudenosaunee, I looked over at my beautiful, big, brown father and realized he didn't know, that it wasn't taught to him. He was a very kind, loving, demonstrative father, but he didn't know who he was. He would look in the mirror and he would see his face, and he didn't know what it meant, his skin, I mean, or his father's teachings. So to receive this tobacco, the teaching behind it is that I wasn't expecting to say any of those words today. But when I received the tobacco like this, I start to speak from the heart, and I let it flow out of me. I'm not uncomfortable anymore. And I met you in that hallway as I paced, and if you look out there, you can see where I was walking because I put a hole in the carpet. Because I was nervous. This is the first time I've ever been asked to do something like this, and there was a day when I certainly would never have thought that I'd be standing with part of my story in my hand like this. And you all brought your story here today. You bring your story to the table every time you talk to somebody when they bring their story to you. The gift that you bring is not the letters of your legitimacy that you worked hard for. It's your story, the steps that you took to get here. So when I receive this tobacco, it makes me feel very comfortable. Am I nervous? Absolutely. Why? Because it's important. And I am saying something that represents my family. This feather here is not just a feather. Everything's sacred to me. I brought my sacred items. It took me 13 years to earn this eagle feather, one of the highest commendations I could receive as an Indigenous person, either from an elder or a community member for what I've been doing in my community. And my dad finally started coming to some of my presentations, and I realized at the last presentation I took him to, that this wasn't my feather at all. It was his. So I offered it to him as a community member. I'm not an elder. I offered it to him because he taught me who to be even though he didn't know who he was himself at one point. But after I started to share some of the teachings with him, he just fell into place. And as I kept learning them, I couldn't get enough of that sugar crisp, you know? I just couldn't get enough of who I was. It just really meant something to me. And I really didn't mean anything to me until I started to understand who I was as a Haudenosaunee. And I watched my father grow, even though he was as tall as a tree. So it was an honor. So I bring this with me. So it's not just a feather. I need you to know that I'm with my dad today. My dad passed months after I gifted him this feather. And these belong to my brother Ron, who passed 18 months after my father. And I gifted him these feathers. And we all worked together at London Psychiatric Hospital. My dad for about 15 years with us, but he was there 30. And my brother and I for 30 years. Now this is my 36th year and I have 112 days left. I'm not Mr. Spock or nothing like that. It's on my phone. But I am looking very forward to moving toward the community work now afterwards when I get the time to do so. I've worked at London Psychiatric, now Parkwood Mental Health Institute. So I bring their energy with me so that I can make certain that I still honor them. And I met with a fellow named Stefan this morning here when nobody was here. And I took my sacred items out and I smudged them. And he asked me what I was doing and I told him. And we started to talk about our fathers. And he lost his dad too. His father's name, Ayan. My father's name, Okwali. Okwali, Go'a, which is the Great Bear. Ayan in English is John. So I wanted to make sure that I shared a little bit of what happened in this room prior. So I didn't know that my teachings would take me to a place. I was here last year for the first time, and I met Peter Menzies, who's been like an icon to me. And I wasn't expecting to come to this meeting. I was invited at the last moment. I'm sitting right there at that table, right there. And he's up here talking, and I've been reading all his material going, man, how would I start my own program at this hospital I worked at my whole life? And I stood there and I thanked him for being who he was so that I could dare to be a good Indian, a good Haudenosaunee, a good Ongahongwe, that I would dare to step into that because I didn't know anything about it. And that I would be able to take that into my practice. And that September, which was this time last year, that September, though, last year, I put a proposal into the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care for Indigenous Mental Wellness Pathway to Care, and it was accepted. So I'm not retiring in 112 days. I'm going to be doing a 3-year program with the hospital. That applause is for you. Because I did that because I come here. I did that because I stood over there, looked at a man who stood here, and thought, I'm going to do it. So this isn't just some meeting. When do we get together like this? Knowing each other a little bit differently than people know you. Where it's a beautiful thing to be a social worker. It truly is. We're gifted this ability to make people open up and share. And there was a day when I would not open up and share. But when I received tobacco like this, feathers like this, and a group of people that I belong to like this, I'm not uncomfortable. I'm nervous, but I'm not uncomfortable. So I wanted to make certain that I acknowledged my dad and my brother, and I wanted to make sure I acknowledged Stefan's father. And I want to make sure I acknowledge the women in this room for helping us be good men. I want to make certain I thank you all for being so kind to us. All right, so this sacred land that we're on here for our meeting today, it's had human activity on it for over 15,000 years. And it's the land of the Huron-Wendat, the Petun First Nation, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit River. And it's also part of the dish with one spoon wampum covenant that represented one big dish with a big ladle in it, and I could give everybody something from it. We all had the same thing, that equal food, that equal everything. So that was what that was supposed to represent. And it represented the peaceful way of working together with the Iroquois Confederacy and the Ojibwe Allied Nations, that they would peacefully take care of the lands and the resources and the Great Lakes around us. So today even Toronto, that we have here as Toronto, is still home to many different Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and it's our good fortune to be able to work here in the community on this territory, to be able to share our story with someone or use whatever pain we received as our life. And I look back at mine and I realize that everything that happened, or where all my energy, it wasn't for punishment. It was so that I could have an understanding of what someone else might need in time of need, so that I could use, maybe Creator was saying to me, I love you this much, but someone's going to need this teaching later, and this is going to hurt. But they'll listen to you. And here it is, this moment. I said to a child one time, she was about 11, and we were picking cedar, and I said, one day you're going to be the most amazing woman that this world knows. And she said, really? I said, yes. I said, the only difference is that it's 2018 right now. That time has to come. And I looked at her mother and I said, you used to be her, you know. The only difference is it's 2018. So walk with your present moment, the moment that you're in. Let it connect you to your history. Look back, but don't stare. Take the information you need and use it for the forward motion. And I'll be calling on some of you. I'll need you. We need each other. So it's an honor to be asked to come here. I'm going to sing a song with this shaker, this bark shaker. And I sang this song to my father as he was crossing. And it's a song of transition. It's a song that goes from human energy to spirit energy. But I'm talking about transition here too. What are we going to change? What are our children going to change? What did our parents change? So I sing it for your moms and your dads and your grandmas and your grandpas. I sing it for your children, and I sing it for your kids' kids, the ones that aren't here yet. I sing it for them. And I sing it for your beautiful story. So it's got a gentle side and a loud side. I wasn't expecting this, so I'll try and stay away from it when I'm doing the loud part. All right. Way yo hey ya, way ho wa, way yo hey ya, way ho, way yo hey ya, way ho wa, way yo hey ya. Way ho, way hey ya, way hey ya, neo, way hey ya, way hey ya, neo, way hey ya, way hey ya, neo, way ho, way yo hey ya, way ho. So for all those people that we've lost, and for all the people that are on their way to see you, I sing that song, that transition, that you can help them feel one way and make them feel better because you exist, because you took the opportunity to be a social worker in your life, and that you helped somebody else have a better day. So now go off for this invitation. It means the world to me. I love you, Dad.